Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel T-Spot. In this video, attracted and torturous test. Have they done enough to shift the scales in their favor with Angelina and some of the other passengers still actively doing horrific deeds in spite of having Cal and his Sapphire on their side? Let's analyze this improbable and shocking series ending manifest. Season 4, Part 2. The death date finally arrives. Michaela, Ben, Sandy, and TJ awaken, gasping for air and gripping their chest the morning following Cal's sacrifice. Eden, Olive, and TJ stumble up on a petrograph while exploring the woodland. The engraving that reads Class of 1999 has been placed over the original, covering the beneath inscription that is plainly intended for the passengers. The gang believes that the photographs their mother shot while they were already here could contain the solution. After saying their final tearful goodbyes, Olive, Eden, Jared, Andrea returned to the house that Angelina had previously occupied, only to discover the pictures hidden away in the attic. Angelina and her supporters are gone when Jared and Andrea show to clean the house. They are where Adrian and Egan stop by to mess with their vehicle and delay their departure, despite the fact that they have packed themselves into a van and are on their way. Somewhere, Drea and Sandy hear a news story about active volcanoes spreading around the globe that are ready to erupt at any time. Adding to the sense of impending doom, the puzzle is starting to come together. It is therefore not surprising that the remaining passengers, excluding Angelina's crew, congregate around the mountain after seeing Cal's sapphire beacon. Time to evaluate the travelers. The passengers spend the day together, demonstrating how they have come together as a family in the face of the most trying and unexpected situations. As soon as night comes, they are ready to finish their tortured, life-changing journey. A tremor that causes the fissure where Sandy put the arc fragment to reopen cuts short Ben's statement of optimism. They watch as Flight 820, 8's notorious jet, rises from behind the molten rock. They understand right away that Cal is in charge, and this lets them know what to do. Finally, the passengers start rewarding the aircraft as they prepare to pass judgment on their version of the scales. Back at the home, Drea, Olive, and Jared search through pictures of birds in an effort to locate the writing on the rock. Fortunately, Olive's grandmother was a master of organization, sorting and labeling her pictures according to the type of bird. Olive notices the silver drake when they list out the remaining collections. Alzer is referred to the aircraft in his writings as the silver dragon, another word for a dragon. Actually, everything is related. They quickly locate the inscription, which is inscribed with the words forgiveness, lightens the heart pixlack. Olive then gives them a lesson in mythology, explaining that some people think that hearts, rather than good or bad, are being measured against feathers as significant as the wonderful actions they have performed over the last 5.5 years. They need to learn to smile more. What does the last part of the inscription signify? Though, AZ stands for Alzera's, but the remaining pieces of the jigsaw direct Olive to browse the images they've gathered over the course of their years-long investigation. They discover that the P stands for page, and the IXL is the page number when she takes Alzera's journal. When Olive discovers the page, there is a picture of Ben rescuing Olive from the fire from the first season. But what if Olive wasn't there in the painting at all? Olive suddenly realizes the solution. This is about Angelina. Ben is seen carrying Angelina in the artwork. He must pardon Angelina for killing Grace if he wants to live. Will he choose to forgive Angelina without listening to Olive's pleading? Or will he finally capsize the lifeboat? Olive can't worry much though, as Dre goes into labor and Eden seeks solace from her. As the earth trembles around them, will Angelina sabotage everything once more? Ben, Mick, and Sanbi are still assisting people in boarding as they return to the summit. However, when Angelina gets there, she is not very excited about this. Everyone stops when her goon, Paul, fires a warning shot into the air. Angelina asks that everyone leave her arc because she believes that it was only intended for her and her supporters to endure the day of judgment, just as Noah did. When they ignore her and continue aboard, Angelina is not happy as she attempts to insist that the others depart right away. She guides her flock to board the ship as Paul and his pistol remain by her side. With everyone else aboard, Angelina makes a threat to use her sapphire abilities to force them off. But the enchanted sapphire light flickers and goes out, rendering Angelina helpless. Mick takes advantage of this chance to persuade Paul to join the cause. The three of them are then prevented from boarding when Angelina snatches the rifle and aims it at them. She gets thrown back and stumbles when there is a tremor. But as she descends, she unintentionally shoots the rifle, striking Sanbi in the forearm. Sanbi enters the aircraft in Angelina's absence, while Bethany informs Mick that Amuda requires her in the pilot's seat. There are now only Ben and Angelina. Ben grabs the revolver and yells at Angelina about how she stole everything from him while pointing the rifle at her. Angelina replies with more of her chosen one babble, claiming that she is the only person who truly understands grief. Ben attempts to persuade her once more that she is the same as the other passengers, but she doesn't buy it since she says that God gave her the sapphire. Ben understands that it's about how one utilizes power. He lowers the weapon and finally lets Angelina talk about killing Grace. They have a brief exchange during which she says that she never intended to and that she regrets it every day. Time is of the essence as a nearby lava explosion throws them both back. Ben is in perfect health, but Angelina has a head wound and has blood all over her face before he lifts her up. While she is asleep and carries her on board the plane, she commands Ben to leave her alone. Go back to the glow. Mick is summoned back to the cockpit. By Amuda, they can make out the glow in the distance. However, they're going to chase it this time. They sense that they are no longer in the air as they fly into it because the plane is engulfed in the light. As the plane's door opens, Mick looks back to the other travelers. They proceed into the airport together after leaving. The world they were just in is not present, though when their jet was first scheduled to land, it was April 7, 2013. They're wearing the same clothing from the first episode of the series and acting as if the previous 11 years never occurred. Nevertheless, those who survived recall everything. Grace and Karen, who are both still alive and well, are waiting for them. Karen is the mother of Ben and Michaela. Upon seeing their loved ones again, Ben and Michaela rushed over to give them hugs. When Grace inquires about Cal, they halt, but she observes a young Cal exiting the aircraft and giving Sandy her computer. Despite the fact that he is unaware of her identity. Without the burden of the world on his shoulders, he may once more be a child. Ben informs Grace that Sandy will heal Cal, Mick has another difficult talk to break up with Jared, and Sumi gets another chance to build a life with Alex. As the passengers meet up with their loved ones and continue where they left off, Angelina's father is visibly upset by her purported abduction, and Vance shows in to start a new investigation into Flight 828. As they are watching this before the episode ends, Mick meets Sick again, who, as she discovered earlier in the season, is a cab driver. The two take up their banter right away, and she gets ready to tell him everything. Grace also asks Ben what happened to him on the aircraft because he seems to have changed slightly, and it is obvious that he will also be telling her what occurred. It's the ultimate second chance and joyful conclusion for all the travelers who merited it and weren't wiped out on Judgment Day, even some who died en route and have since resurfaced without knowledge of what transpired. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.